Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. We made it.
Yes.
We made it. Another
Mhm.
episode
Yes, yes.
of Dun, 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 dun. Mama Said It. Because when Mama say it, it's said.
Okay.
I love your hair, Shakira Plum. It looks nice.
Yeah, I just wanted to, switch it up a little bit, keep a little color in my life.
Yeah, you got some color in your life, girl. I love it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be going blonde soon.
Okay.
You know how long I've been saying that, right? How long have I been saying that?
Yeah, you said blonde, you said braids. Braids been about 25 years now. Maybe 20. I'll give you take away 5. 20 years.
I did have my hair braided before, but I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I think I was like 7.
Ooh,
Mhm. And you took it out that same day
I
or
took.
that next day.
Did I really?
You said it was too tight or something. hmm
But I'm gonna tell you something. When you go to hairstylists and they be pulling your brains loose, that means they do not like you.
Or
Find
they
another
bald,
style.
or they're bald. So one or the
Or they
other,
or huh?
or they're bald and their hair won't grow.
Oh, so they trying to pull the people's hair.
The little bit of hair out, yes. And another thing that I learned from just watching different things, when you go get your hair braided, and like at the end they'll take scissors and go up your braids to like cut off the flyaways, but that may be cutting your hair.
True.
And then you wonder why, like, I mean, my hair's been pretty healthy, but I even can tell, I haven't had my hair braided in a little minute, but it's just, you start to see little nicks in your hair.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Of course. Yes.
because they're cutting your hair. So,
They
yeah,
cutting
but
your
they
hair.
be,
That's not.
yeah,
That's not cool. That's not
no,
cool.
no, I go to the
That's not.
same girl. I've been going to her for probably like 5 years now. So,
Well, she's doing you
um,
justice.
yeah, she does right. So,
Yeah, she's doing you justice. She's definitely doing you justice. We want to
hmm
say, come on and join in on this fun. We have some phenomenal topics today. We try to
yes.
come up with some great
hmm
topics that's entertaining, but also real. It's one particular topic I definitely want to discuss. It's about the government and what they've
Uh-oh.
been. I know, it's something shocking. I meant to mention it before and it kept slipping my mind. And I said, you know what? We got to talk about this. But listen, today is episode 24.
24.
We're
All right.
moving on up.
We are. It's going by fast.
It's going by really fast. Yes. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much for joining. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining. Please let us know where you are tuning in from. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And please, can you share? Sharing is caring,
It is.
right?
And it's free. Okay. Free
And it's
support.
free.
It's free
And
support.
it's free.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Mhm.
totally agree. So you had a good week this week?
Yeah, no complaints. I can't think of nothing that yeah, no, pretty good. I mean, the norm, wildness with the kids, just norm.
Right.
Just the because I don't know if everybody knows, but I work from home and I have 2 toddlers. So that's
Yes.
fine. But they're really not that bad. Like I thought, like, oh my God, like Jesus help me take the wheel. But they're really not that bad. They
No.
have their moments.
They're
But
busy.
but for the most part, I know of others that have horror stories, and so
Yes. And yours is nowhere
no, it's
near
mild. It's very mild, to say the least.
very, very mild, but they keep you
Yeah,
busy. So
they do. They keep you on your p's and q's. Yeah. So.
yes. Yes.
hmm
Well, we want to say to everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mama Said It podcast with my co-host, Shakira
That's me.
Hitman. You're not a Forte anymore.
Yeah, December the 12th would be 3 years of not being a Forte, ma'am.
Yeah, and you know what? I said, Shakira, you want to do like I did. I kept my last name, right?
Um,
But then I hyphened my married name to add on. And Shakira's like, no, I'm dropping the whole thing. I
no.
said,
And
what?
I talked it with daddy. And to be honest, I don't have any connection with a Forte besides my dad. So when I talked to him about it, he said, I don't care about that.
Yeah,
And I wanted to do that anyway. I didn't want to, I wanted to keep tradition and take, my husband's last name. So that really wasn't a question in my mom. My mom wanted me to. Now, I understand why certain people do that. Like my mom, she's in business and she has her name attached to different things and properties, and so it's less confusion when you still
yeah.
have your name in it in some way. And some people don't take the last name at all. So,
That's true.
but
That's
yeah,
true. There's a lot of
yeah,
people that very
don't take yeah.
mysteriously got married and they still have their ex-husband's last name.
Oh yeah, so
Why?
that yeah, no, that's weird. But in my line of business, I come across I deal with name changes a lot, and you see a lot of people that they had their marriage certificate maybe from the 90s, and they never changed their last name because they never had to until they're running into an issue like your checking account is in this name and this is in this, so we have to make sure
True.
things match up. So sometimes they have to send it in, and we're like, dang, they got married in '89, and they never,
Right.
but their ID, I'm just like, wow, this is okay, cool. So, but for
Yeah.
me, I wanted to change my last name. So
Yeah. Okay. You did
it
what's
was for
right for
me.
you. I
Yeah,
totally
yeah,
agree.
yes, absolutely.
Totally agree.
Hey, Aunt Lisa, she's on here. Hey,
Yeah,
Zarada.
Lisa, thanks for
Yes,
joining.
thank you for joining, you guys.
Thanks so much for joining. We want
Mhm.
to start off with one of our topics, which is kind of mysterious. Y'all may have heard that the helicopters dropping mosquitoes in certain areas. Now, they said there have been helicopters being shown from state to state, and they've been wondering what have these helicopters been dropping. They don't know. They're saying it's not the mosquitoes, but there is mosquitoes apparently that the CDC, if you go to the CDC's website, which I'm on often, I go to that website, I'm there all the time because it gives so much information about our environment, our surroundings, and what is happening in America, which is so important. So I'm
Mhm.
going to put the information that we're discussing right now, I'm going to put it in the comment section so you can click the link and go right there and obtain this information. They always say if you don't want certain people to know things, put it in a book because they ain't gonna read.
Yeah,
So
hello.
I think they have
Yes,
some
please go
legitimate.
read, people.
Please. And
Yes,
nowadays,
'cause-
reading is so simplified where you can get an app that will read for you. I mean, don't
yes.
be lazy, read, but if you just don't like to read, because some people don't like to read. So if you're
Mhm.
that person that does not like to read,
Yeah, because I don't
get
like to
the
read. I don't like to read, y'all. I
app.
don't. I don't like to
Get the
read,
app.
and I don't watch the news as much as I probably should, but my other half does, and he'll let me know of certain things and stuff like that. But I do not, I just started even watching the news a crinkle because of him. So watching the news definitely is a world spin because there's a lot of negativity. But it does keep you in the loop. So yeah.
Right. Now, speaking about these mosquitoes, it's really strange because these mosquitoes, we don't really know all of the information. At least I don't. There may be some other people that's out there that
Oh,
may
they
know more
know. They
information than
know.
I do. But
Mhm.
from what I gather now, I don't know whether I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but it's called Aedes aegypti. I'll put the spelling in the comment section. But apparently, what these mosquitoes are going to do, these mosquitoes are grown in a lab, right? And they
Oh,
feed them. Once they feed them, they lay eggs. Then they inject these mosquitoes with two different types of injections. One is called self-limiting gene, and the other is called gene marker. Now, the gene marker is basically where these mosquitoes can be identified. So it glows. So if they ran across this mosquito, it will actually grow. The first one is a self-limiting gene where they're trying to destroy the female mosquitoes. Now, as you may know, mosquitoes have been known to carry that yellow fever.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all might have heard of that before. But as I learned a little bit more about what's going on with these mosquito droppings, I'm definitely going to keep you informed. But I will be posting the information in the comments section so you could be able to read some of the information that I came across. So let's change the subject. Now that's kind
Yeah,
of scary with the
that,
mosquitoes because
listen,
when I was reading it, I was scratching actually.
listen. You never know with what's going on in the world. It's just
You never
who
know. You
knows.
really don't. We
Yes, we
don't.
don't.
Strange. So our next subject is celebrities building affordable housing. I'm so excited about this
That's
process.
yeah.
This is
That's
absolutely
awesome.
wonderful. So we
Mhm.
have celebrities building affordable housing. Of course, Queen Latifah, uh, uh, Shaq, and Ti and Tiny just recently celebrated their grand opening of one of the properties or development, I should say, a complex
Mhm.
that they've actually completed. And then you have rapper Slim Thug, and there's so many other comedians that have also been reaching out and building in their communities. I think this is a phenomenal thing to do because there's so many
Mhm.
houses that are abandoned and boarded up, especially in the low income areas. These houses are kind of like a sore thumb, they stick out. And some of these houses are being sold for $1, others are being sold for a few $1,000s. But guess what? You can get a loan to fix these properties up and rent them out to people who are in shelters or homeless folks.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
you won't believe how many people are in shelters. The shelters are full,
yes,
overloaded. They have to shut the doors at a certain hours, from what I've been
yeah,
told from some of the directors. They can't even accept everyone. It's
yeah.
sad. So
Very
those
sad.
that are not able to be accommodated, they have to find shelter somewhere else in the train station, bus station, on the street.
Mm-hmm.
So we all
Yeah,
collectively come together, the celebrities especially, but we all can do our own part. We all can pitch in and do our own part to participate in changing our community and
yeah.
stopping homelessness and
Yes, very
foreclosure.
sad. Yeah, very, very, very sad. It's
Yes.
unfortunate. Like I can take it back to when Sandy happened in Atlantic City, and at that time I was working at Plaza.
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 Okay.
Okay, okay. I was working
Okay.
at Plaza. Okay, if you guys can fill in the
Mm-hmm.
lines. And like Atlantic City shut down, obviously. But even when we were like coming back, like people were sheltering in the casinos. Like people, like
Yeah.
I know, like at Harris, they paid their workers to stay overnight, and they rode the wave or whatever because the structure was built for it. Like it was okay. But I just thought into myself, all these now, mind you, Atlantic City was shut down, so nobody could come and get a room. But all these people that are homeless in Atlantic City, you couldn't put them up in the hotels. I just thought that was just so like that would have been a great thing to do to go
Do you
down
mean
to
you
the
mean
because
doing one of
obviously
the?
when Sandy happened,
Yeah. Oh
and because
yes,
when Sandy happened, people were still at the casinos. Like there
they
were
were.
workers that were still there.
Yeah. They was
And
asking people to
I
stay
vouched.
overnight. They
Bye.
asked you to stay overnight. They
Yeah,
asked
they
you to
did.
stay
Like the
overnight.
security. Yeah, and that was never gonna happen. So, but
You
security,
sure right about that.
security and stuff like that. They stayed and they got paid buku money because they was paid for the 24 hours because they was on the clock.
Yeah.
So, but like people guests couldn't come and stay, but for the people that lived in Atlantic City, that either house was going to probably be flood, like I just felt like they could have did more as far as because y'all got all this money, y'all got these rooms empty. You mean to tell me you couldn't bring in the homeless people? Because them shelters, where the shelter is in Atlantic City, that is like water central. Like even when it just
Yeah.
rains little bit, like it's a lot of places in Atlantic City that if it rains a little bit, it's flooded.
It's
So
flooded.
where
Yeah,
the where yeah,
true.
where the shelter is, it's lower. So you mean to tell me you couldn't take the people out of the shelter? And it's just very, very sad as far as how the world treats the homeless, the veterans, the elderly. I just think it's insane. It's very
It
insane.
is sad. It is
So
sad. It's insane. It's
it's
insane.
kudos to them. And a lot of people always say, oh, well, what celebrities don't do not you don't this is the thing. You don't know what people do. And I appreciate people that don't boast about all that they do. You get what I'm saying? Like, let me
Yeah.
read about it in your biography, big biography, whatever the word is, whatever, don't quote me, whatever. Anyway, but I hate it when people go around and say, "Oh, they don't do nothing." You don't know what they do.
Hmm.
And at the
Right.
end of the day, I would look at somebody funny if every 5 minutes they say, "Look, I felt I found a homeless person." Like then you'd be like, "Okay, so now you're doing it for clicks. Like you're not genuine about it." So to
Right.
read about these different things because I follow Tiny and Ti, and they've been doing this for a long time as far as like with the community and all of that type of stuff. But they don't talk about it like on a public platform to say, hey, look at me, look
Platform.
what I'm doing. Yeah, they'll
Right.
promote it for people to participate and help, but it's not like, look at me, look what I'm doing. Like that's not
Right. Right. Right.
how it is.
Right.
So it's really good to see that. Very positive.
Yeah, it definitely is. Congratulations to all of them and those that are anticipating on joining in on this. I think it's a phenomenal thing to do.
Yes.
So let's change subjects and we're going to jump right into, do you know what your child is doing at sleepovers? Now, let me just say that this was brought to us by Lily, my sister Lisa. She came up with some great topics. Thank you so much, Lily. I thought
Thank
this
you,
was really
Ashley.
phenomenal.
Hmm.
There was an incident where a woman who she allowed her daughter to go sleep at a friend's house. I'm just going to
Okay.
give you a snippet. And it was on a school night, which was kind of
Weird.
interesting because, I never allowed you to sleep at.
I ain't sleeping over. I could name.
Ooh,
I can name the three people. Okay, and I probably will. I can drop name it. Brianna Forrest, of course. Sherelle
yes,
Shaw
definitely number one.
and
Yes.
Whitney Ferber. Those are the only three people.
Oh, wait a
Now, if
minute. I know
anybody's out there that
Sade.
I stay, huh?
You said Sade. I knew, right, for sure. You did that a lot.
Sherelle Shaw,
Oh, yes, definitely Sherelle. Okay.
yes, and Whitney Ferber.
Up. True indeed.
Those is the only three people that I can remember that I ever spent the night at their house as an adolescent. Now, when you
Right.
grown, you
Except for
grown.
Nisi. Nisi, you spent the night a lot.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm talking about. She was my caregiver, my babysitter, and
Right. Yeah.
family friend. Love her to death.
Yeah.
Love her to pieces. Her
Yeah.
daughter,
She
everything.
was my sister
Yes,
girl.
phenomenal. But I'm talking about a classmate going over to their
Yeah.
house. That part,
True.
and it was three. Okay, and my mom did not play. And with those three, she had to know the parents' name. Not necessarily occupation, but you give them the name, and she
I
already
wanted to
like my
meet
mom
him. I
did not
wanted to
play.
meet him.
Yes, you had to meet them. There was no let's talk on the phone because because I remember when I was younger, I had this voice, y'all, since I was probably like 13. I always sounded very I won't say old, but like my voice is very different. Like this, I don't know. And I used to like
It's
friends
a
would be
good
like, "Oh,
voice.
thanks." But people used to be like, "Girl, can you act like you my mama so and tell her that that I'm spending the night over so?" And I'm like,
Ooh.
"Yeah." And I can talk about it now because I'm grown. But I used to be like, "Hi, yes, I'm Mrs. Blah 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 blah. Yes, she'll be spending the
Ooh.
night." Blah blah. Because I had like my voice didn't sound little. I
Oh,
guess I don't know, whatever.
oh,
So
Father God.
yeah, so she had
Let
to
me
see them.
clutch my pearls.
Yeah, she had to see the parents,
I
and
did. I did not
everything.
play that at
So
all.
yeah,
I
and
wanted
it
to
definitely
know,
wasn't
but
on no school night. Well, I know
no.
maybe I would say maybe the only person would probably be Brianna because we lived up the street from each other.
Sade, yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
it.
Totally.
Because I mean, we Pop Pop. It was either Pop Pop or her dad that was taking us to school.
Right,
So
right.
yeah.
But in this particular case, the woman allowed her daughter to go spend the night at a friend's house. And while the
Okay.
friend was there, apparently she was drinking coffee to stay awoke for this exam or essay that she was had to get out. And the mother became concerned because the daughter was acting kind of funny, not
Hmm.
her usual self,
Okay.
more on the cheery high side. So the
Okay.
mother decided that she was going to take some of her coffee and get it tested. And she did. And it was fentanyl and all kinds of drugs in this
Where'd she get the coffee
creamer.
from?
Her friend's house.
So she got the creamer from the friend's house or the coffee?
Both. But it
Oh
was in
wow.
the creamer. The drugs
It
was
was
in the
in.
creamer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So you
Well,
definitely got to be careful when you have your kids spending the night
at other
uh,
people's houses.
at other people's houses. That
Yeah,
ain't cool.
that is
That ain't cool at
terrifying.
all. Isn't it terrifying?
That's terrifying. Just to even think something like that. And who does? And then I just be thinking like, who does that with kids? Like I just people and children hurting children, harming, and I guess in their mind they're like, oh, well, I do it all the time. Like
Right.
yeah, but what if
Not a
that
good
child has a
thing.
reaction to something? You know, you even just got to be careful. Like you have to be very mindful who you have in your house because you can have one of your daughter or your son's friend there, and you don't know they have a peanut allergy or a shrimp allergy,
Yep.
and you're cooking with peanut oil, or
But
and
you're
you
supposed
don't
to
know.
know those things.
You supposed
You're
yeah,
supposed to
but a lot of
know.
people don't talk. A lot of people don't talk about that. They just go on and spend the night. These are things
Uh,
that you need to be knowing about. So it's
yeah.
very, very unfortunate. But thank God she caught it before something
Right.
happened to her daughter. Because that could have
Yeah, she
been
caught it.
very, very bad.
She could have. I don't know whether she brought charges on the other parent.
Hmm.
Because I mean that would have been a serious situation for most parents.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's something totally, totally serious.
yeah. That's very, very, very. That's beyond serious. Like
It's beyond
drugs.
serious, right?
Like, and
Yes.
then this must be normal for her daughter.
Well,
And
I
I
don't think it
mean,
was
and
normal for a daughter. That's why she
no,
felt.
no, I'm talking about the friend, the
Oh,
house that she
probably
spent in.
so.
You get what I'm saying? But my thing is that if I was, I won't say if I was a crackhead or anything like that, but if I knew my mom
Lord.
um would do, late stuff and all that, I'd be like, girl, you sure you want to drink this? I'm just letting you as a friend. I get down with the get down, but I want to make sure you get down with the get down before you know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't her friend warn her to say, hey, or does the friend even know? Maybe she don't know. She thinks this is how creamer tastes. She gonna mess around, go to ShopRite and get a brand and be like, this don't taste like the stuff at home.
Oh, and let me tell you the part that was really disturbing that she had withdrawals, meaning after they took her
Wow.
off, yeah, she was, that withdrawal. I've seen that
Oh, and
happen
I wonder
too.
how long she was taking it before her
It only
mother.
take probably once or twice for you to get hooked. I don't think it takes a
Oh
long time.
wow.
Never been on it, don't want any
Yeah,
parts
yeah.
of
I
it.
don't know. I don't know, but it
But
looks like a wild time on it. Okay. Thank God
you know
that
what
her
the funniest
mom
thing
had
for
the sense to, huh?
You know what the funniest thing for me, I think, and I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful, because I come from a family, we all may have tried something here or there.
Hmm.
I never tried any harsh drugs. And when I say harsh, harsh. But
Hmm.
when you dip and dab and when you see somebody say on crack, for an example, and this is not to disrespect anybody who have ever been on crack, but in 2023, if you see people losing weight, if you see people selling off things, doing crazy things, what makes you want to get on that if you already clean, if you're clean already? You know what I'm saying? What would
Well,
make
that
you want
that
to?
would be. I feel like that's a touchy situation, and I think that would be appropriate to ask someone that like maybe for us to have a guest that is a recovering individual, and they may have battled with
I'm not
going.
talking
They
back in
may.
the 80s and 90s. I'm
No,
not
I'm
talking about the
talking
80s and
about now.
90s
I'm
because that
talking
was
about
the
recent.
trend back
I'm
then,
not. I'm
right?
not talking
I'm
about.
talking in
I'm not talking about.
2023.
I'm not
Are they
talking
on?
about back then. I'm talking about now. There's
Are
plenty of
people
people. I'm talking about recent people that are probably teenagers or
trying it
in
for
their
the first
20s,
time?
30s.
Oh,
They tried it, they did not like it, or they tried it and they liked it, but then they got off of it. It's plenty of people
yeah,
that would be better to pose that question to, because I can't answer that, and I don't want
yeah.
to.
Of course, I'm not
I
saying it
don't
for
want to.
you to answer.
No, I'm not saying that, but I don't want to diminish their struggle because
No, of course
for
not. I would never
no,
do that.
no, no, no. But I'm saying when you say what would make somebody get on that, a lot
Yeah, I want to know.
of
I want
things,
to know.
yeah, yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
In
Maybe we would need to
2023 is
ask
what I'm
somebody
saying.
that has went through that That's what
Yeah,
I'm.
because
It
maybe
doesn't
I can
matter if
learn
it's
something.
2023 or back in the day. It's we we look at it. We look at the 80s as the trend of different drugs, but 2023 is the trend of the drugs of today. So it's
Which
the
is
same difference.
fentanyl,
Just
which
because
I don't remember fentanyl back in the
yes,
80s. It might
no,
have
that's
been, but I don't remember hearing it.
that's not no, that's not what I'm saying. You're saying that back in the 80s it was a trend. But now why would you want to get on XYZ? But this is the trending drug for this generation.
Fentanyl and
So
meth is
is the
right.
new cocaine and everything else what people what that what was the other one, quaaludes and things that people
Which
were engaging with on a regular basis, is it wasn't that big of a deal. But with everything, you don't know when you take something if it's going to be the last time you take something. So
that's
with
so
that
true.
yeah, so as far as there's plenty of reason why I think people may go to that side: depression,
Depression, anxiety.
the anxiety, grief, all different type of
Yeah,
it's a plethora of different ways, and some people just try it because they want to try it. So with
try for the
that,
first time.
it's that's not really I think that when you're asking why would you want to get on that, it's not
No,
really.
listen to what my statement is. Okay. When you were smaller, I took you around, I took you on a road trip because I wanted you to see what dope and all those other things did to you, right? If you were to indulge. And I did that because I wanted to do and discourage you from ever wanting to do it. Okay. So my saying is if you see those people doing and
But I don't think
interacting the
people
way
look
they
at
are,
it. I don't think people look at it and say, "Oh, that's going to be me." Just like when if we take it back to the 80s. Now, I was not born in the 80s, but I know there's plenty. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people that have dibbled and dabbled in cocaine or whatever have you,
of
and they
course,
went too
yes.
far. They didn't think that they were going to
I
get hooked and
did.
got hooked. So
I didn't like it.
no, that's not what. No, what you're saying is that when you look at somebody and see, oh, they're like, okay, let's give example meth. Their teeth are falling out, and all these different, it's different things that go on when you're doing meth. Why would you look at that and say, why would I do that? But then it's plenty of people that seen people that do crack cocaine, and they was looking at I
So
won't
they
get
don't
that
think
bad, and they did it, and
that's
they
what I
got
was going.
hooked.
Ooh,
You get
child.
hooked. So that I don't think is necessarily a thing of looking at something and say, "Oh, I would never do that." You don't know what you don't know. You get what I'm saying? You hope and pray that you're never put in a certain type of situation and that you never go down that road. But I don't think that people look at other examples of people being on meth and so on and so forth and say, "Oh, I'm never going to touch that." Some people do, and some people say, "Well, you know what? I'm not going to get hooked like they did." They just like you can compare it to
Yeah,
drinking
and it turns out to
alcohol.
be something totally different.
That's what I'm saying. You can compare it to drinking alcohol. Some people say, "Oh, I only drink here and there," and then it turns into every day. Then it turns into I ain't going to work, and you don't know how people may spiral. Some people can be functioning, and some people cannot. So I don't
Yeah,
think that
I've
it's
seen
like
some
some
high functioning folks that's been on
because there's plenty
drugs.
of
So yeah.
people probably. I mean, in the government and
Only thing
on
only thing I'm
judges
saying,
and
only my statement is this. If you see it, if you see a person, a whole hundreds of people that's like that, what would make a person want to join in? That's all I'm asking. And maybe we would get an
yeah,
understanding
well,
if we
what
invite
would make
someone.
people want to join back in the 80s when people seen all these people, ODing and dying? What
Sure.
it's the same difference. People didn't say, "Oh my God, girl, all these people ODing, let me put it down." People was running for it. People
No,
was,
but
"Oh,
let
I
me
want
tell
to
you
get that
something.
high."
Let me tell you this. When a person heard that somebody was selling something that was hot and get you high quick, they ran to him. Even if people was
Yes,
dropping dead, they was still
yes.
like,
They want
are
that
you
high.
kidding
So
me?
that's what I'm saying. So comparing
Oh,
it to the 80s, and it's basically the 80s trending drug is it was that, and now we have a 2023 trending drug, and that's what it is.
yeah, but
So
my thinking is this: if they're dropping dead, there's no way I want it. That's
yeah, well,
simple.
people were dropping
Simple.
dead for crack and cocaine, and people still wanted it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
I want to
yeah,
say welcome to the show, Lisa, Lee, Zoraida. Thank you for joining. Sade, which is Brianna. Thank you so much for joining. My lovely sister, Dorothy. Thank you so much for joining. And let me
yes.
just say this: Brianna has some comments. You want to read them off, Plum?
Okay, yes. I would believe it would be. individualized to each person. Opioids, I think I said, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, because my screen is small, are trending now. Very expensive habits, so some end up on cheaper drugs to fulfill their addiction. Addiction
Uh-huh.
is a
True.
sad rabbit hole. Peer pressure, depression, desperation, prolonged grief. Some people have major surgeries and get hooked. Yeah, so it's not necessarily somebody saying, "Oh, girl, I don't want to get on that," because people be in pain, people, and then all it has to take is for somebody to say, "Girl, well, I had my back surgery and this is what I got. You want to try this? Yours
Yeah.
ain't working.
Yeah.
Try it." Now you hooked. So,
That's true.
it's one of them things that is a very slippery slope. And I commend anyone that has evolved out of it. I commend anybody that's trying to get out of it. And I also applaud
Absolutely.
and I pray for the people that are still in it and trying to find their way.
Right. To get out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And she
Absolutely.
also said poor coping skills. Yes.
And some people have me just sort of, yeah. I remember when you had your open heart surgery and they had you on
Morphine.
morphine, yeah. And my mother
I
had a
remember.
fit. She's like, take her off of that. Take her. And I
Mhm.
was like, Mom, wait a minute. What are you doing? She was, well, my mom had a takeover attitude when it came down to anything medical. And she
Yeah,
made them
exactly.
take you off of that medication and you start to recover much faster. So it definitely
Mm,
was a great decision that she took because I didn't know what to do. I was a lost.
mhm.
I was lost my mind completely. So yeah, she said
Brianna
many
also
people ignore
said
that weed is
weed is a
a
gateway
gateway drug.
drug. Hmm.
Weed, no, weed is a earthly creation from God.
It depends on in who hands. Okay, some people get it and then they start
I'm
lacing
not
it.
talking about hands and enough. When you get it, when it's grown from the earth.
But I'm saying, but I don't think he meant for. No, this is just my opinion. I don't think he meant for us to smoke it. And that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Why not?
I I don't
Oh,
know.
you thought it was like oregano? Because my mother thought it was oregano years ago.
Yeah, that's what Pop Pop told her, that was oregano in the backyard. But what I'm saying, I feel as though that sometimes it may alter your your psyche in a way, and
Yeah, of course.
I think that's equivalent to, like, how it's okay to, well, we talk about this all the time as far as drinking. Drinking is okay, but getting drunk is a sin type of thing, from what I've
Yeah,
read in the Bible. So it's the same thing as but how do you really smoke weed and not get high? I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing. I don't think that's the purpose. You want to get high. That's the reason why you're smoking. Um so yeah, I understand, because I know plenty of people that started off with weed, then they start lacing it with embalming fluid, then they start going to something else, and then just went on down a rabbit hole. And then you got some
yeah,
people that stick to weed and they ain't never touch nothing else. So it's
right.
kind of like, I feel like it's like where you draw the line, and that's
Where that
and
is.
she also said addiction is genetic, mom is factual. Weed
Yeah,
allows
I believe
people
it.
to build tolerance and then chase other highs if they are genetically prone to higher tolerance and addiction.
Wow.
Okay. And yeah, because
I definitely
I
would like
understand
to.
that.
I would like to delve into that a little bit more. Maybe have some guests on to elaborate,
Hmm.
collaborate, so that we can get a better understanding. Because that has always been something that I question as to why. And some things you just never would get an answer, but maybe I can get a better
A
understanding.
better understanding,
Because to
yes.
be
From a,
educated is key.
yeah, yep.
Is to be educated is key. So let's jump to the next subject.
Brianna said, "Let me know. I will
Someone,
come on anytime."
yes, she would be the exact person we want.
Yes, exactly.
Someone might be watching you.
Uh-oh.
Now, this is another topic that is from one of our co-hosts, Lisa Mills brought this to the forefront. And there was an incident where a young lady, had her baby.
Okay.
She was home, looked like it was her home, and she was
Okay.
entering her house, and it was a man coming down the street fast at a fast pace. And as she entered her home with her baby, she locked the door in time and he was trying to get in. He was trying to gain entrance. It was so spooky and scary looking. So
Oh
we
wow.
want to say that you never know who's watching you. Sometimes I
Exactly.
remember years ago, being so close to different police officers, one would always tell me, never go home the same way. And I was like, why? Why not?
Mm-hmm.
He would always say, change the way you go home. Do not go home the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Go a different way, because some people will
Different
follow you.
times too.
Yeah, different times. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all those things matter. All those
Mm-hmm.
things matter. And it's very scary when you think about. I think it was something that I read the other day, or was a video that I came across. They said if you're leaving somewhere and you have a suspicion that someone is following you, to go left 4 times, and if that person is still following you, call the police. Turn left 4 times,
Oh wow, that's a good
and if
tip.
that person is still
That's a good
following
tip.
you, call the police. Because I mean, to go left 4 times is like, yeah, they follow
Wow.
me,
And yeah, it's like, yeah, you follow me. Exactly. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're
I
following me,
remember like just the locking I remember locking doors part definitely. And I know Pop Pop used to get mad because when we were living in Willenboro and Pop Pop used to have the garage open. So when I used to, come home from school, I used to walk through the garage and he would be sitting out there chilling, but I always locked him out. It was just a habit. I would always lock him out. He would be banging on the door because I done locked him out. So the locking doors thing,
you
I absolutely listen. I
you
listen. I
got that
lock in
down pat.
everything. Yeah, let Fort Knox, okay, because you don't know who's watching you. You don't know, even down to because I have children and I may be out. You got to be mindful on how you put stuff in your trunk. You have to be head on a swivel, okay, at
Yeah,
all times. Like you can't let no blind spots be available
right,
for somebody to sneak up on you, and you have to have a plan. You have to know how to maneuver. You have to have a plan in your mind and say, okay, if XYZ happen, this is what I'm gonna do. So
right.
it's definitely
That's good.
scary. And they target moms, they target
Yeah, they
elderly.
target.
They're not
Yes.
going after the guy that's a bodybuilder. He's not, they don't care about him. They care about
No.
the moms and the
Right.
handicap and all of that, which is very unfortunate, very sad.
Yeah,
But
it is sad, sad, but it's definitely the truth.
yeah.
And one of the things I think, when you are in a situation, especially if you live alone, having all types of weapons or things that you can get to right away, just in case
Mhm.
if someone gain entrance to
Mhm.
your dwelling, it's very
Yeah,
important
absolutely.
to take
Absolutely.
all precaution necessary. Okay, so we're going to jump into something a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
Deliciously safe, ensuring the safety of your delivered delights. Now, I know y'all heard, at least for me, I'm very particular
Oh
about who
goodness.
I order food from.
Listen, you guys, she's not joking. This is not a game, okay?
I do not like delivery service. I mean, I always be thinking they eat my food or they drinking. So I'll call the restaurant. I say, I need to know, how do you prepare your
Yeah.
delivery? If they tell me they don't cover nothing or don't staple anything or don't seal stuff, I ain't ordering from them. And unless I can go pick it up. Because there's so many videos where these drivers, and I'm not gonna name no companies, but a lot of these drivers, some of them be eating your food. I ain't with that. Because if I catch somebody eating my food, it's gonna be a problem that I done paid for. Do you order? I know you order.
I, okay, so I don't order as much as I used to, but I
Oh, you
am very
don't?
no. This is
Okay.
listen. I won't say it's a recession, but that first of all, they overpriced. Just like if you order
Yeah, food
from
is
certain
high.
places, food is high anyway. But when you ordering on the apps and all of that, it's like $2 or $1 more than what you would pay if you were to go to the actual restaurant or franchise. So I
Yeah.
kind of like slowed up on that. I'm trying to be mindful. I'll be 36 this year, y'all. So I'm trying to, you know, get my
36.
I will be 36, yes. But my solution to her problem, cook at home. Because ma'am, you don't know what somebody doing
Yes.
in the restaurant. They could be licking your breadsticks and you would not know.
Oh,
You think it's garlic, it's extra garlic butter. No, ma'am, it's not. So so I feel as though, yes, I understand that with these third party companies and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you're not cooking your food at home, you don't know what nobody's doing. From the restaurant to anything, to the
You
delivery
don't.
person. So I
You
know
don't.
there's certain establishments, like to just throw some out there. Chick-fil-A, they don't play. They seal your drink. They seal your, your bag is sealed. McDonald's, they put your drink in a bag and seal it with your food in
Okay.
a cup holder. Popeyes, they seal, but sometimes they don't always. KFC, no, they don't. They may seal now, but I've ordered from them before it wasn't no seal. Certain restaurants, I'm like, okay,
KFC?
yeah, no. KFC, I remember one time I got it from them and it wasn't sealed. I'm pretty sure I probably didn't eat it. But it's just like one of them things you don't know. If you
Yeah.
go pick it up from the drive-thru, you don't know if somebody just sneezed in it. You don't know. So if you're
Oh,
not, I'm being serious. This is really, I know we're putting it on the drivers, but let's give them grace. It may be from the nasty restaurant. We don't know.
it could be. It could
It could
be.
be it
It
could be
could
a
be.
booger from the restaurant. We don't know.
Oh, child, you know what? You know what? You're gonna make me not want to eat tonight. You better stop. But
Listen, no,
I'm home,
I
so
want you to eat tonight, but what I'm saying is that if you are afraid of that, make your own food at home. And
yeah.
that then you
Stay
know
safe
what
with
didn't
it.
happen. Then you know exactly what didn't happen. Other than
Right.
that, you don't know what somebody did from the, yes, do they have third party friend people that is drinking your food, eating it's supposed to be a 10-piece, but you only got 8 nuggets? I'm pretty sure there
Right.
are. But you don't know if it was eaten by the driver or eaten at the restaurant. You don't know.
Don't know. But it better not look funny, because if it do, it's gonna what? Because I could be a little. I mean, I'm very, very nice. I have a
Listen,
very
but
nice
me and
side.
my mom are so different in this aspect. Like we're different, but we're the same in some tokens. Like sometimes you catch yourself being like your parent, and you're like, I'm not like that. But then like something comes up, and you're like, you are totally like that. But like my mom will say stuff, and I just like, Lord, somebody's gonna lick her food because she'll say, you ain't do this right. I'm just like, oh my God, can we get the food first before you say
Yeah, yeah.
anything?
Going to eat with you is like let me tell you, going to eat with
Oh
you is
my,
like I
I
can't say
God,
nothing.
please,
I gotta just be just frozen. It's
no,
like crazy. I'm not
it's
doing that.
not. No, no, that's not.
I
No,
like
Aunt
to
Dot,
be
please,
me.
Aunt Dot,
I'm gonna
do
be
not leave
me.
me out here alone.
You're like,
I know
Mom,
you
why you
got
got
my
to do
back.
that, Mom?
Seriously, I'd be like, Mom, come on, like, and she's like,
Look, if
oh
it
no,
ain't right, take
because
it back. Oh,
I don't
Mom,
want
don't let him
that.
take it back.
No, yeah. See, me, I worked in the restaurant industry before.
So did I. I
And,
owned a
and yeah,
restaurant before you were
exactly.
born.
You owned the restaurant. You owned the restaurant. I'm talking about I worked in an establishment. I ain't sending nothing back. I don't want it to come back to me. Okay, you're
Why?
not
Because
gonna
they
go
was
in the
doing funny
back.
things. See, the thing with my restaurant, you could see everything. You could see them
Yeah, and
cook.
no, it's no restaurant. The only place you can go somewhere
I
now
ain't.
and see everything cooked is Benihana's. Okay, everybody's behind a
Oh
curtain
yeah, Benny
and all.
Hannes is good.
I love that's my place. That's my spot. But it's
Shout
just
out to
like
Benny Hannes.
most places you go to, you cannot see the kitchen. You don't know what so you sending it back and they like,
Yeah,
yeah, that she said
Uchi
ain't enough
Mama.
shrimp on here. Or it's supposed to be 5 shrimp and it's only 4. No, ma'am. I don't even want you to bring out what's missing. I'm just not coming back there no more. I give you an example. I'm not going to name the franchise per se because me and my mom talked about it. I ain't going to throw nobody under the bus. But it's a franchise in Willingboro that I ordered something from them, and I ordered something from them. I went to go pick it up because it was going to be cheaper because they had a little deal going on. I get there. Nobody got on gloves. I'm just sitting there like, what in the world? The man went from touching on the food to touching on money. Then he went outside with the franchisee person. She digging like she got some type of problem. Okay. Then they outside messing with shoes. He come back in talking about some, oh, your pizza is up. Let me go get it. Don't get nothing. Okay. I don't want it. And they was like, oh, what's wrong? Is it okay? I was like, no, it's fine. You did not wash
I would
your
have been like,
hands.
no. See, that's the difference
See,
between me and
I'm not
you.
about to know because you know what
Look,
happens. Listen, these people stick together. They might know somebody at Popeyes, and I like Popeyes. Okay, they might know somebody
I
at
thought
certain
you said you
places,
wasn't
and
gonna
I
say
don't
the
want.
company.
Listen, I don't want my name going around saying, yeah, if you see Shakira's order, you make sure you lick her nuggets. No. So I just kindly said, I said, no, it's okay. Because I had been waiting for a little minute, so they probably thought it was that. I said, no,
See,
it's okay.
mm-mm.
I said, I did see that you did not have on gloves and you touched money and didn't touch food, so it's okay. You can cancel my order. And I walked out. I will never order from them again, ever. But you know what? I'm not going to go in there and make a scene. But I know my mom. Oh my
Well, I would. I'd be like, look, you
yes,
touching my food and you done
and you
dug in your hair. I would
see.
definitely say something.
See, and people, please, somebody that work at a restaurant, please, I hope somebody in a restaurant chime in because it's certain. I'm just
There's
not going to go
nothing
back there no
wrong with that.
more.
I know restaurant etiquette, and I definitely know that it's okay to be able to voice when you see something not right. Period.
I'm not eating there no more. So you mean to tell me you going to tell somebody off, and they're supposed to do nice things to your food? They're supposed to bring it out, and they're not supposed
Listen,
to do nothing to your food.
I might even leave. I might not even stay, but I'm not gonna sit there and be knowing that they're doing all kinds of filthy things and just let them go with it and so they can do it again and repeat it. You try to correct the issue. So I'm just gonna speak my
Yeah, no,
voice. And
I
I
don't
think
want them
it's
spreading my name around town. Talking about some. If you see Shakira Pittman order, you make sure that she cussed me out or she said whatever X Y Z. You make sure because they all no no. Um oh thank you.
yes,
He said my
yes.
hair is fire.
It
Thank
is
you.
fire. I told her that. It looks so pretty. I love
Thank
that.
you
And
so much.
I picked the
Um
color.
you did. You did.
I said, Shakira, you look beautiful with this color. You should try it. And she surprised me. So
And I
I'm
did.
surprised you listened to your mother. Hmm.
Wait, so Aunt Dot said they left my food on the bench at the rental office. I left it there.
They
I know
sure
that's right, Aunt Dot.
did.
Now, if they do stuff like that, absolutely, I'm gonna it was another incident where I ordered some Jamaican food and I wanted oxtails, right? They
Love
let me
oxtail.
order it and everything, but then the driver got to the location and there was no oxtails. So they called me and I said, well, I don't want it. Like that was the whole point. Like I don't want just the rice and beans. Like I want the oxtails. So I was like, cancel my order. So they canceled it and I was like, how am I going to get a refund? He said, well, just call the number. So I called the number, but they made it seem as though that I canceled the order. No, ma'am, you didn't have what I ordered. So I had to fight them to the nail to get my money back. And it was ridiculous. So stuff like that I completely understand. But with certain things, I may speak my piece, but I'm not going to make a scene. And 9 times
Yeah.
out of 10, I'm just not going to come back there no more. Okay. That's just me personally. I'm not about to, like, and there's certain things that I just be like, oh Lord. And
Yeah.
I'm waiting for your comments. Okay. Don't let me down. Okay. I will read them. Okay. Out
Oh,
loud. Okay. Because
you
me
mean
and
talking about me?
always go
I'm
out
a
with mama.
pleasant person to go to dinner with, lunch, breakfast. So any of y'all want to treat me to lunch, breakfast, just hit me up. But I feel as though I don't feel if something's wrong, you should tell your waitress or waiter.
Or
You don't
waiter,
just let
yes.
them
But it
treat you
depends.
any kind of way.
I didn't say mistreating, but I just be like, Lord Jesus, I don't want it. If my food comes out incorrectly, like say for instance, I didn't want shrimp or something like that, that's something different. But when it comes to like,
Or
I don't
also
like
if your
this.
food comes out cold, you're supposed to be like, oh, that's okay, that's all right. No, my food cold.
That's how, and you guys, that's exactly how she says it. That's exactly how she says it, you
I'm
guys.
a lot
And
nicer
that
than
is
that.
why, yes, it is. That she's like, girlfriend, because my don't let it be a sister, okay? Because then it's just like we got some type of communication. I know you lying, because this is cold. And I'm just sitting there, me and Dot just sitting there with our head down, acting like we looking at our phone.
But listen, my
Listen.
tips be on fleek. And they love it when I come back because they be like, girl, I got
And
you.
that's the thing. She goes back, y'all. She goes back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. If I done told you off just a little bit, I'm not going back. You go, oh, I
Listen,
remember her. They're
we
like,
had
oh
an
no,
issue.
I want her. Put her in my section. I remember her. No,
I
ma'am.
do.
No, See,
That's she coming back for some more of this.
Exactly. No. See,
That's
Aunt
funny.
Dot said, Kiki, you are on point. Thank you, Aunt Dot. I told you, you guys. It's just now, if there's, like I
Ooh.
said, if there's certain things that I do not like, I'm just not going to go back and fraternize with it. I'm just not going to support you no more. It's over with. I don't need to
Mm.
do any, no, I just don't.
Yeah. Well, we're
No.
going to move on from this subject because it's something I really want to share, and I have some information that I want to share with you all that's hopefully going to enhance and show you how to make some quick money and also show you how to increase those FICO scores. But we're going to jump into two more topics we want to talk about before we dive into the money and credit report, increasing your FICO scores. Pre-date vibes. Key considerations before the first move. Now, some of you out there, y'all dating. Listen, let me tell you, Lily was hot. She was on the road today. Lily was on the road with topics today. So we want to send a serious shout out to our co-host, Lisa Carter Mills, for inspiring our topics for this week. Now, she brought to our attention, there was a young lady who found this, who started dating this guy from a dating app. And she decided to invite him over to her house for the first time. Now, they were texting back and forth for about a week. She decided she was going to invite him over, cooked him a nice hot meal. He came over. It was chilling, as you would call it, Netflix and chill.
Netflix and shit.
They was chilling and looking at TV, and then next thing you know, they found themselves in the bedroom. Things got a little heated. You know how that goes. Got a little heated. They start kissing and all that kind of stuff. I ain't gonna go all into what they did, but
Please don't.
I won't. But he covered her mouth and slashed her throat, literally. And to make it even worse, as she started to scream for help, of course, he didn't expect for her to be able to scream after slashing someone's throat. Of course, your vocal cords are kind of damaged.
Yeah. You think
but
you killed
God
him.
was with her.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood heard her scream and came to her rescue, and she is alive. But guess what? The guy was accused of murder prior and got away with it, allegedly, because the witness didn't want to come forth.
Because listen, I seen his mugshot, and when I find it, we gonna post it on Momma Said It, along with the
I
picture
said
of the
that
girl
young lady.
too.
I just want to
He
throw
looks
some.
crazy.
Listen, I want to throw some information out here. First of all, and I'm dating myself, and I'm giving you the advice that I take in dating. I'm very selective, number one. Number two, don't invite no one to your home on a first, second, third, fourth date. Come on, give it some time. Stop being in a hurry. Meet at a public setting. Go public. And second thing, call a friend or family member to let them know where you are at so they can check in on you periodically. Mm-hmm. Then also put an alert, a tracker on your phone so they can see where you are at. These things are extremely important. I know you're grown, you're making your own decision, you're making your own move. But listen, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Because a person may look a certain way, but then when you start to meet them, you're meeting the representative, first of all. I don't have no representative. You meeting the real McCoy here. But a lot of people show up with the representative. And when you show up with the representative, then it may take some time before you really meet the real person. Some people be with people for 10 and 15 years and don't really know who the person is. They start changing and acting different. So you got to be careful.
Yeah.
And do a background check if you need to. Find out a little bit more about this person. Mm-hmm. It's always good to find out who you are going on a date with.
Yeah.
And listen for the body movement, the language, the things that he's not saying. See, because some people listen for certain clues, but you got to listen to the things that he or she, because it goes for the woman too, because they be crazy too.
Yes.
You got to listen for the clues that they're not saying. Mm-hmm. Very, very important. So for y'all who are out there, you're dating, please be careful. Yes, please be careful. Do. Please be safe and take the recommendation and consideration and the remarks that I have shared with you. Take it serious. Mm-hmm. Take it serious. So we're going to change topics right now to how are we going to not talk about this topic? I mean, this is a topic that's been talked about all week. The fastest settlement in history. P. Diddy and Casey.
Cassie.
Cassie. Oh, is it Cassie? Okay, Cassie. She's cute.
Yes, she
But it was
is.
a fast settlement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, I'm a woman, but I can say for women who have been violated, it's not a good feeling. And this is allegedly because they were not able to take it to court to find out exactly whether she was telling the truth or not. And listen, I'm gonna say this: just because he paid the settlement, don't necessarily mean that he's guilty either. It just means that he does not want to go through that process. And sometimes it's much more better to get rid of the situation than to have it dragged out in court. Okay, so it's not saying that he's guilty. Some people say, I think he did it. Look, that don't mean he did it. But does that look strange on her end that she came after all these years and then took the money? Was it really the money or whether it's the justice? I'm like, which
I
way?
think I this is my take on it. I believe something has happened that prompted her to even say anything. She is, if I'm not mistaken, the girl is married.
I think so.
So she had must something has happened that we do not know about. This is my opinion that prompted her to say something for her
Yeah,
to get. So and this is the buzz around Diddy and anybody and everybody that knows anything about entertainment. Diddy is I won't say the was the gatekeeper of what is it, Masters. People be having problems with certain things when it comes to Diddy. People be popping up dead and everything like that. That's
right.
not a this is not me
Allegedly.
saying he has. I'm not saying that he has anything to, I don't have to say allegedly. These people are dead. I'm not saying he has
But
anything to do
he's
with
not
it.
directly,
Wait,
he might not
mom,
be.
listen to the rest of my
Okay.
statement. I'm not saying
Yes,
he's
ma'am.
directly related to these deaths, but they're popping up and they flying off like flies, okay, dropping, okay? So
Right.
I just think that there was something that has happened that prompted this girl is quite. I ain't never really hear her talk before besides her singing. So for her to come out her mouth and say the things, it's not just about, oh, he raped me and stuff like that, and that to that those allegations. Oh, he made me have sex with other men, and that is very disgusting for you to even talk. Like, who would, if you went through that, who would openly say that?
Yeah.
Just cause. Now, yes, there are malicious women out there, and people want anything for a clickbait. But if you have followed her, which she doesn't, I mean, no shade, Cassie, you don't got a long career, honey. So it's not like you got a buku plethora of albums. Okay, I think you have maybe 2 or 3 albums, if that. So it's not like she needs it for upcoming something. I feel like something happened. She said, "Oh, really? I'm about to blah blah blah." And that
Yeah.
happened. And he said, "Oh, I gotta shut her up because she knows stuff. She was with the man for
Well, if you've been
13
with
years.
someone, I think she's been with him 11 or 13 years. So
13
obviously
years.
she knows some insight on things that's happening,
Yes.
and, whatever it is that she's gone through, I hope she's getting the help to get her through and where she's able to handle it better. But also at the
Yes.
same time, look at Bill Cosby. I mean, the woman accused him of this something similar, and then she came back after the case was closed. Then she was able to come back years later and get more money. That was like crazy.
Well, he was trying to buy NBC, ABC, something.
Yeah.
So that was that. And
Well, they
that's my
said that
stance on that.
P.
Not to
Diddy is trying to
discredit the
buy a
woman or
station.
whatever.
So is it some sort of conspiracy where they every time
Listen,
an African American tries to buy a major network that they end up being, some sort of confliction,
listen.
interruption, something like the Wall Street when Wall
Something in the
Street
water
for
ain't clean. Yeah.
the blacks, when we had Wall Street going on, our ancestors, our history, Wall Street was destroyed because we were making progress. We were
Yeah.
making progress. So it's just so much
Yeah, it's too much. Me
suspicious.
personally, I don't think it just came out of nowhere. I think she said it because of something.
Yeah,
The girl don't talk. It's not, and she's not, rowdy or ratchet or anything like that. The girl is
not at
silent. She's
all.
even
Not at
when they were
all.
out, she was mute. You know what I'm saying? So for her to come out and say all of this, I just felt, just
Yeah.
me. I just feel
Something's
like
to
something
it.
happened. Yes,
Something's
exactly.
to it. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully she's happy or at least satisfied, and he is too, where they can move on from
Yeah.
this because
Yeah.
that was the fastest
Yeah,
settlement I've ever.
brother love, brother love. I bet
Mm-hmm,
brother love.
mm-hmm.
Brianna said sometimes it takes years after abuse to regain sanity and the strength to speak on it
Yes,
publicly. Or
I
maybe
was
she's trying
abused,
to
so I
warn
know.
young Miami, the new girlfriend, which uh I don't see how she don't. I mean, I just feel like because of all the stigma around Diddy, people know stuff that Diddy be doing, but they just can't talk about it, type of thing. Like, girl, you went to a Diddy party, you had to sign an NDA, like it's stuff that's probably going on that people want to talk
But
about,
they
but they
say
not
Jamie
going.
Foxx is talking about it.
We listen. I think that's a clone, but that's for another subject. I don't think that's him. But Brianna also
But
said
where's
he
the real
got
Jamie? Ooh, don't
He got
say it.
Brianna said he got some ish with him. Okay, poor men can be abusive, let alone a billionaire. He feels privileged and had money to cover it up. Hello.
Yeah.
Because it may not,
Wow.
we don't ever know if somebody else is going to start coming, but I'm pretty sure all these other people that maybe have experienced that with him, they probably had to sign an NDA and
Probably
closed
so.
case. They ain't got, you can't say nothing else. So, but
Yeah.
I just think for her, like, just, because I listen to her music and even her singing, and like, she's quiet. Like, she even sings quiet. Like, the girl is not, it's, I don't know.
She
Um,
sings quiet.
yeah, if you when you get off, listen to her songs. Her voice is very soft. She's not doing no Mariah Carey's or nothing like that. No hit, no notes. Um,
Right.
so yeah. Brianna also said a lot of rappers, rappers have spoken about his down low part. Yes, they be like,
Yeah, we've been hearing that's been spinning around
yes,
so much. It's
yes,
crazy, right?
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well,
She said abusers know who to target. She was an
yes,
ideal target. Wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Well, we are happy that they're able to put the case to closure and
Hmm.
people hopefully will stop talking about it as much. And I wish both of them well.
Hmm.
And listen, I want to talk about this how you can make $500 in 4 hours and you can cash out daily from some of these companies. Now, I'm going to put a list of these companies in the comment area once we get off the air. So stay tuned so that you could be able to click on Mama Said It. You got to come to Mama Said It podcast. Come to Mama Said It podcast, and you will see the information and links of these companies. Now, the companies is considered where you're delivering luggage for lost people who have lost their luggage from the airport, and you're considered to be a luggage delivery carrier. Okay. Now, some of the things that you need, you have to have your own car. Sign up is pretty easy. You're an independent contractor, flexible hours. You must be 18 years or older. You must have a smartphone or either iPhone. Now, some of these companies, I'm going to list at least about 10 different companies. I say apply to them all, right? But I'm gonna also put information as to which one have a cash out daily. Some pay you every week, some cash you out every day, which I think is phenomenal because you have to pay for your own gas. So being that they're paying you so much, some of them you do have to pay for your own gas. Some of them will require clean driving record, and some don't. So some of them will require it, and some of them won't. So don't worry about that. And some have a pay flat rate, meaning per piece. So if you have 5 luggages, they may uh, that may be a delivery of like $50 or $75. So different prices. I'm going to post that information in the comment area so that hopefully that will be able to help to create some sort of revenue for the Thanksgiving holiday and the Christmas holiday, which is right around the corner. Now, I want to share something else with you all. To boost your FICO scores quickly, go to www.kovo credit. That's KOVO credit.com. It's an easy process. And also, you could pick up courses. This is also going to consider You're going to be able to obtain courses as well. And it's a great value for increasing your FICO scores. Now, these two companies that I'm going to share with you today will more than likely, I know a lot of the clients that I've dealt with, it increased their FICO scores up to over 125 basis points just from these two. And I have hundreds of companies, okay? But just these two that I'm sharing with you, it boosts your FICO scores up very quickly. So let me just share with you real quickly before we get ready to sign off so you can see this information real quick. Now, this one here is Kovo. So you can know what the website looks like. Build credit with rewards. It costs you $10 per month. $10 a month for 24 months. They report to all 4 credit agencies. Okay. I know many of you know about Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, but they also report to Innovis. Okay, which is another one. The second thing that they do, you can learn courses for the $10 a month. And then it would also, you can be able to receive all types of rewards, extra money. And once you go to the website, it's going to explain all that information. The other one that I'm going to share with you that I may have mentioned before, real quickly before we get ready to sign off. This one is a very interesting one. It is, if you're looking forward to increase your FICO scores, you want to go to www.growcredit.com. GoCredit.com. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this one because this one is really, really good, right? I'm going to share the website real quickly. And I'm going to be able to put this information in the comments section so that you can have a link to go to these sites. And I'm also going to name some other sites. But as you continue to follow us and like and share, we're going to share so much information with you so that it'll be helpful for you. Okay, so this is Grow Credit. I'm going to give you the website so you can see what it looks like. Now, this is Build Credit for free. It's really not free, but let me just tell you what it does. You're already paying your AT&T bill, Hulu bill, your Netflix bill, and all these other bills, right? Your T-Mobile bill. Some people don't pay with an actual credit card. Some use an actual debit card. So instead of using your debit card to pay, you're going to come and sign up and get this particular credit card. Okay. So when you get ready to pay, you're going to use Grow Credit, which is also a debit card. But guess what? When you make the payments, it's going to be reported on your credit report. It's going to be reported on your credit report. Some people have FICO scores that jumps 20, 40. A lot of my clients, they had their FICO scores grow 40, 50, 60 basis points, which is phenomenal. So between these two companies, you can be able to get your FICO scores raised in no time. I hope this information has been helpful. We want to say thank you all so much for joining another episode of Momma Said It Podcast.
Yes,
this
thank you.
week is Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If
Happy
you celebrate.
Thanksgiving, everyone. Please don't eat too much as you go your way. Please don't eat too much as you go your way. Thank you all so much for joining us on another episode of Momma Said It. Momma said it. Ooh, there'll be days like this. Momma said it. Wee. There'll be days like this. Momma said it. Woo. Y'all make sure y'all have a phenomenal week. Take care.
Have a good one, everybody.